2017-2018 class number 38. Okay, so I hope you all had a good Rosh Hashanah last week. So we did not have class last week, and tomorrow night is Yom Kippur. So Yom Kippur is an amazing day. I mean, today when Hashem says, "I'm willing to forgive you for everything," we just have to ask. And so, what I wanted to do was to hopefully do a little exercise that I think could be very helpful to our Yom Kippur, and kind of just might be there on Yom Kippur to have a very meaningful Yom Kippur. So what I've done is I gave you these handouts. Okay, handouts are this is from Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur Survival Kit from Rabbi Shimon Apostolf, an excellent book, by the way. It might be a good book for you actually to take to synagogue with you. It might be very helpful, and I'll give you a pencil because that way you can erase it. And so what it's like this. He has a little thing. It's on right on the right side of the page where it says 33. Okay, and what he does is as follows. He has 19. There are 19 categories, and this is the way it works. 5 is the most important. 1 is the least important. And what you do is going through each one, and putting there. You cannot have more than 3 5s. That's your most important things. You're not allowed to have more than your 3 4s. Okay, so maximum 3 5s and maximum 3 4s. You must have at least 2 1s and at least 2 2s and 2 3s. Okay, so you have to have at least 2 in the bottom categories and a maximum of 3 in the top categories. So you can't just say all of these are important. You have to go ahead and you have to rank what is important to you. And I'm just going to go through them, running through them, so that way then you can actually go ahead and you can put them down. So family, right? So family is not marriage. Family means a family that you were born into. Okay, so that's your family. Being well educated is number 2. Number 3 is making a contribution to my community. Number 4 is marriage. Number 5 is spirituality. And just again, the definition of spirituality is having a relationship with God. Okay, number 6 is being well liked. 7 is having a good reputation. 8 is financial success. 9 is being Jewish. Now, being Jewish, you can be Jewish and not be spiritual, right? So being Jewish does not cover spirituality. It's something different than spirituality. Being Jewish. Number 10 is peer recognition in my career or profession. 11 is personal fulfillment. 12 is helping other people. 13 is having a good Jewish education. 14 is making a contribution to humanity. 15 is achieving peace of mind. 16 is having children. 17 is living in the home of my dreams. 18 is acquiring self-knowledge. And 19, giving my children a strong Jewish identity. Okay? Yeah, no. So having children means, how important is that in the scheme of things? Right? That you have them already is fine. Right? So, right, but it means, meaning that it's important to you. You might have children, but, heck, it's really not that important to you. Right? Maybe it was important to your wife. Right? So that might be right, and if you don't have children, that doesn't mean you leave it off. It just means, now, with the priorities that you have today, and with your understanding of your own priorities, how would you rank it, right? Where would you put it? So really, it's what this exercise is made to do. Is made to prioritize, help you prioritize in your own mind. It's not a right or a wrong per se, but I'll tell you the right answer when we're done. Right? But there really is no right or wrong. Okay, right? It's just but at least in your own mind to help you prioritize, right? What is the what makes the most sense. Okay, so we'll give you a few minutes now. The clock, we'll put the shot clock on, little tick tock, and see how well you're going ahead about and doing this. Tick tock, tick tock.
Play the music.
Yeah. Da, 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 da. Okay, all right. So go ahead and to just try to put down there what you would assume are the
If it says at least 2, you can have 3 if you want.
very sure, right? Yeah, good. And you can have as many ones, as many twos, as many as 3.
The interesting thing about this is that depending on what your priorities are, you can have a 5 on one and a 1 on a different one, but because they're so intertwined that they go together and it doesn't matter what the second low number is.
Right, potentially, because I'm gonna. This is the start of it. By the time we're finished, we'll be Talmudic scholars on how to make this work. And
There's a secret formula.
there's a secret sauce that I don't want to tell you yet, because it will ruin your.
It goes with the odor of the hamburgers in
No. This is the goal over here is to really help you. Make you think is really what it is.
I'm just doing this side, it's hard enough. It's that performance profession.
Me too. I have nothing.
Now I'm going to make you defend your answers, so make sure they're defendable.
I haven't got the
Right
sheet.
now.
I'll give you a clean sheet for when we go over this.
Can we start over?
Yeah. It's a great. By the way, this is a great exercise to do anytime. Like, it just helps you with your priorities. And,
It's good there's no right or wrong answers to this.
well, you might have some wrong answers.
I always have wrong answers.
Did you have an answer? It's wrong.
It's wrong. Yeah, but I didn't want to say it because it was wrong.
I started with my number ones first.
Yeah.
You started?
Okay, is everyone done? Okay, good. Okay, and again, just for the benefit of all our people on or watching us Facebook Live, I'm going to go ahead and list off the 19 categories. And again, you could have a maximum of 5s are the best, 1s are unimportant. You have to have at least two 1s, at least 2 2s, and at least 2 3s. And you have to have, you cannot have more than 3 4s or 3 5s, right? Okay, and the categories again, right? The 19 categories are: 1 is family, it means that's a family you're born into. 2 is being well educated. 3 is making contribution to my community. 4 is marriage. 5 is spirituality. 6 is being well liked. 7 is having a good reputation. 8 is financial success. 9 is being Jewish. 10 is peer recognition in my career or profession. 11 is personal fulfillment. 12 is helping other people. 13 is having a good Jewish education. 14 is making a contribution to humanity. 15 is achieving peace of mind. 16 is having children. 17 is living in the home of my dreams. 18, acquiring self-knowledge. And 19, giving my children a strong Jewish identity. Right? So those are the 19 different categories, and really, what I'm asking here is to rank them in terms of importance. So I'm going to start with the easy ones. Would anyone like to share what their number 1s are, the least important on this list?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
Family born into.
Okay.
I don't have anyone. That's easy.
You didn't. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Being well educated. I have 2 masters and a PhD. I'm done.
Okay. Right. Okay. But how important are those masters and PhDs to you?
Now?
Yeah.
1.
1. Okay. Good. Okay.
That and $5, I could go to Starbucks. Peer recognition in my career, 1. Having children, 1. If I could put 0 there, I would have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Living in the home of my dreams, I'm very happy in my home, 1. Giving my children a strong Jewish education, I don't have any children, 1.
And if you would have children, where would that rank?
How old are they?
It
would matter.
It would matter.
If they're 12 or if they're 30.
Right. Okay.
Why should that matter if they're your children? That you wouldn't. I mean, it seems to me that if they're 30, I want my kids to have just as much of Jewish education as if they were at 12. I mean, maybe.
No, I wouldn't. If they know as much Judaism at 30 as they know at 12, I failed.
No, that's my point. That's what I'm saying. I want to continue in that realm,
In the realm, right?
irrespective of whether they were 12 or 30.
Right.
But there's less you could give them. You are less impactful when they're 30.
That's true, but you can
Potentially.
Get them but you can get them on the right direction. You can introduce
Right.
them to Rabbi Epstein.
Right. Again, right. That. It's interesting, right? Because sometimes at 30 they're really ready to listen, and when they're 12 they ain't listening, right? So you could accomplish more at 30 than at 12. But it's interesting. Okay, good. Anyone else want to share their 1s?
I had living in the home of my dreams. That's not terribly important at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I had making a contribution to humanity as a 1. Because there ain't no way I'm going to be able to do that on a grand scale. And I think that because I think I can do it in my community more so than I can do it for humanity.
Okay. And let me ask you a question. You think you can do it more, but which one would be more important?
I think doing it in your community is more important.
Okay. Good. Okay. Peter?
I got number 1 for peer recognition in my career or profession, and living in the home of my dreams.
Okay.
Got a 1 each.
Good. Joyce?
Children, I'm with you.
Mm.
Never wanted them, didn't have them, don't feel any regrets about not having them. I love my nieces and nephews, because they're not mine.
They come to visit and they go home.
Okay, good. What's the other one?
Well, giving my children a strong Jewish identity.
Right, okay.
Those were the only ones I had.
Okay. Scott?
Being well liked,
Mm-hmm.
being well educated,
Mm-hmm.
peer recognition.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay, nice. Okay, interesting. This could be more interesting than I thought.
So we all have wrong answers.
I think that's what it's trying to do.
Interesting as in the Chinese way.
May you have an interesting year. And we're trying again to rank these 19 in order of importance, these 19 categories that we have here. Okay, so then let's go to number 2.
I'll go.
Okay, that's Scott.
Family. So, his blood family.
Right.
And having a good reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Making a contribution to humanity. Achieving peace of mind. Living in the home of my dreams. That's it.
And you guys are loading up on the 2s. Interesting. Wow. Okay. Mark?
Acquiring self-knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
making a contribution to humanity.
Okay. And,
Okay, being well liked,
yeah.
acquiring self-knowledge, and I thought I had a third one here, and financial success.
Okay. Good. Peter, what about you?
Being well liked is a 2, financial success is a 2, and acquiring self-knowledge is a 2.
Okay. Good. Okay. Joyce, what about you?
Well, for 2, I put being well educated, being well liked, peer recognition in my career or profession. Sorry, this is going to be the wrong answer. Having a good Jewish education and living in the home of my dreams.
Okay. Good. Okay. So now good. Okay. And okay. How about your 5s? What are the most important things on this list?
Okay.
Okay. Right. So again, right. So we need right. Okay. Right. What?
Number 5, spirituality,
Mm-hmm.
helping other people, and giving my children a strong Jewish identity. That was it.
That's all you get.
That's all you
That's
got.
all you get. If you have any more 5s, you gotta. No, you did. I was hoping. Did you have 4 5s?
No.
No. Okay. I was hoping you had 4 5s because then you have to throw one away, and that's where things become really interesting.
Which one?
Okay. Kenny, what were your
About family, marriage, and being Jewish.
so spirituality didn't rank?
Well, it didn't rank 5.
Right. So, I mean, do you rather be Jewish and have no relationship with God?
Well, I think they go together.
Right. But
Now, you're asking about me personally.
Right, no.
So, I mean, I can't generalize and say that having spirituality is better than being Jewish. I think they go together. And if I had another one, being spirituality would have been up there too.
Right. Okay. So good. So really, for the purpose of this exercise, spirituality is having a relationship with God.
Right.
Being Jewish means being Jewish, not necessarily having a relationship with God. As we know, way too many Jews that are Jewish and have no spirituality. Right? So what I'm going to do, what I'm trying to do, you're not being so cooperative, is I'm trying to make you choose between these different, you understand? I'm trying to make you choose. I'm trying to help you clarify the importance of things to you.
Well, but but everyone has its own perspective on this. So when I look at it from my personal perspective, and I think about being Jewish, to me that means including spirituality, including having a good Jewish education, including giving my kids and my grandchildren a strong Jewish identity. It's all wrapped up in being Jewish for me.
Right. I understand. Okay. So, but then for you, I would then ask you, okay, if you had to choose between just being Jewish and having no relationship with God, or having a relationship with God and not being
I'd
Jewish.
flip it. If I had that, if that were the only two choices.
Right, you know what I'm saying, right? Like to go
It'd
ahead.
be 5-4 as opposed to 4-5.
Okay, right? You following Mark? Okay, good. Joyce, you want to do your number 5s?
I chose marriage, spirituality, and achieving peace of mind.
Okay. Mark, what are yours?
Marriage, being Jewish, personal fulfillment.
Okay.
Marriage, spirituality, and having children.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, and to round it all up, number 4s, right? What are the 4s that we have? Joyce, what are your 4s?
Family, making a contribution to my community, and making a contribution to humanity.
Okay.
Oh, and acquiring self-knowledge. I guess I have to throw one of those away.
Yes. Say again. What are your 4s?
Acquiring self-knowledge, making a contribution to humanity, making a contribution to my community, and family. I'd probably throw my family out.
You only get 3.
No, so
Yeah.
so number 1, family. You
Lost my family.
you bump you bump them down to number 3.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
How about
Kenny?
spirituality, having children, and giving my children a strong Jewish identity? Oh, and world peace.
That's not one of the choices.
I know, it's from the movie.
Right. Okay, Mark, what are your 4s?
Spirituality, having a good reputation, achieving peace of mind.
Okay. Is it spirituality? What's that again?
Spirituality,
No.
having a good reputation, achieving peace of mind.
Okay. And Scott, what were your 4s?
Financial success, being Jewish, personal fulfillment.
Okay. Financial success, being Jewish, and personal fulfillment. Okay,
Right.
good. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Oh, Peter, what are your 4?
For number 4,
Yeah, for number 4s.
family,
Yeah.
making a contribution to my community,
Mm-hmm.
and having children.
Okay. So good. So let's use you for an example. Again,
As
if
a
you,
specimen.
well, as a specimen, because now, I mean, you see, and the truth is, you see, what I did was, you guys were much more
You
advanced
gotta
than I.
do yours.
I did. Oh, I didn't tell you what mine were. Oh, okay, fine. Okay, I'll tell you
I
mine.
saw you fill it.
Yeah, I filled it out. This is a fair game. It's funny. I mean, the way I filled it out. Okay, before the way I filled it out was that I went ahead and I picked the 3 most important things on here. They were my 5s. The next 3 most important things were 4, and then I went ahead and I took the 2 least important, and then made them 1s, and then the second 2 least important made them 2, and then dumped everything into number 3. That was just a cop out, because really, what really you have to do then is you have to rank in each categories, even in your 5s, what's the most important one. You know, what's for the most important ones. So I'll tell you, my 1s were living in the home of my dream and financial success. Okay, those were my 1s. My 2s were acquiring self-knowledge and being well-educated. Right? Those are my 2s. My 5s, my 3 most important things that on this list was marriage, spirituality, i.e. having a relationship with God, and being Jewish. Okay, right? Those were the 3 most important things on my list, on my 5s. And my 3 4s were family, having a good Jewish education, and having children. Oh, sorry about that. I actually have 4 4s, so I have to get rid of one of them. Okay, it was family, having a good Jewish education, having children, giving my children a strong Jewish education. So I will get rid of having a good Jewish education, and I would turn that into a 3. Okay, right? Because I can't have 4, right? Because of those 3, right? Okay, so you got it. That was my list. Again, my 5s were spirituality, being Jewish, and marriage. Those were my 3 5s. Okay? So now, right, we all have our 3 5s, right? And I mean, one of the points that I try to show them is usually living in a home of my dream ranks pretty low on everybody's totem pole at the end of the day. And to me, what's interesting is that we spend most of our lives, we spend a large majority of our lives running after the things that really are the least important. And I meaning, if you take a look, right, we spend way more time, right, working and trying to make money, and getting the home of our dreams, rather than going ahead and spirituality, right, or focusing on those things that are more important.
The problem is trying to get the home of your dreams is when you get it, you want the next one.
Right, and then again, right, that's the Mishnah in Pirkei Avos, that's ethics of the fathers. He who has one wants two. He who has two wants four. Right, you'll never be satisfied with it. And by the way, my talk tomorrow night is going to be about happiness and meaning, and for Kollel Nidre services tomorrow night. So it's a fantastic. It's actually borrowed a lot of from Rabbi Rabkin, but it's a talk on the difference between happiness and meaning. So there's just some very interesting studies that have been done on happiness.
Just to throw a monkey wrench into the whole thing, I actually did have the home of my dreams for a while. For about 13 years, I lived in a place that I considered to be just perfect, and it wasn't because it was a big house and the biggest on the block or anything like that. But when I bought the house, or when I was looking to buy the house, the moment I walked into that house, I felt the presence of God in that house.
Oh wow!
And I fell in love with it because of that, and I was so happy there that it really contributed to my spiritual well-being.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the value of the house
Well,
monetarily as much as the feeling that I got being in that house.
Right, interesting, right? Which is good, right? Again, right. So doing it that way, meaning living the home. I live in the home of my dream. I could live in a hovel, right? But my home, right, is a home hopefully filled with godliness. I certainly think it is, right? So therefore, right, in that instance, yeah, I live in the home of my dream, right? But right, again, in this case, when they say living in the home of your dream, it usually means, you're right, your Taj Mahal, like your 10,000 square feet, right? You have your own basketball court, enough Olympic-sized swimming pool, right? Indoor heating, right? You have like, right, like you have all that type of things, like to go ahead and to do that. But what's interesting, right, is that if we actually take a look, right, and we rank how we're spending our lives, and vis-a-vis what's important in our lives, we end up actually being a bit upside down, right? We're not doing, right, what right, our values are not being reflected in the way that we live, right? And that really is something that if we can sort of try to work on, right, meaning that we begin to realize what my values really are, right, and then how I should be spending my time. So then that really is very helpful for people. And again, just to remind you, so Kollel Nidre tomorrow night, services start at 7 p.m. tomorrow night, and at our Torah, I'll be there, and then learn a service room, and then on Saturday morning we start at 10:30, and then in the afternoon we have classes straight through the afternoon, and then Wednesday morning at 10:30. Classes start, I think, at 1:15. Classes start, and they go through the afternoon, and then Ne'ilah, the closing service, starts at, I think, 6:30. Is where we're up to. So that's, then break fast is at 8:15.
Oh, the fast end at
8:15.
8:15.
Yeah, not at 6:30.
Okay, so
Yeah. One of my students said to me, Rabbi, my break fast is at 6:30, not like yours at 8:30, at 8:15. I said, okay, well, how about God's breakfast? I said it ends at the end of Wednesday, not at 6:30.
Oh,
You know, right? So like it's kind of like so he said, well, we always do it at 6:30.
So the last shofar would be blown out 6:30, right?
No, the last shofar will be blown at 8:13.
Oh, 8:13.
When the fast is over, right? When Yom
Okay.
Kippur is over, right? That's when the shofar will be blown. Okay, so fine. So now we all have our 3 5s, right? Okay, so what I want you to do, I want you to throw away one of your 5s. I'm not changing the rules. You have to get rid of one of your 5s. You only allow 2 5s.
What does it mean 2 5s?
You only have 2 favorites on that list. You can't have 3 favorites.
2 5s.
2 5s. Right? What are you gonna throw out?
Personal fulfillment.
Okay, so just write it down. We'll give everybody a minute just to get rid of one of your 5s.
Not so easy to do.
It's not easy. This is. I'm telling you. This is real work.
Mine's easy.
You
I changed my mind. I had helping other people. I've changed my mind.
okay. And okay. So what were your 3 5s and which ones did you get rid of?
Spirituality, which I've kept.
Right.
Helping other people, which I've changed. And giving my children a strong Jewish identity.
Okay. Good. So you basically have taken your number. You're saying really 5C, right, is helping other people. Excellent. And let me ask you a question. So you have 2 left now, right?
Right.
Right. Which one? Do you have spirituality and giving your children a strong Jewish identity? Throw away one.
That's a tough one.
What are you gonna do?
Well, I think I'd stay with spirituality because my kids might learn from that.
Okay, Mark, what were your 3s?
Marriage, being Jewish, personal fulfillment.
Okay, so which one are you getting rid of?
Personal fulfillment.
Okay, now, tough question. Marriage or being Jewish? Which one do you throw out?
Marriage.
Okay.
That's a hard answer.
It's a hard answer, sure. But my marriage is also being thrown out of my 5. but it's fascinating, right? I mean, this is really forcing you, right, to really, and it's interesting, right, because when you say being Jewish, right, today you're being Jewish, and where you were last year being Jewish, are vastly different.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. That's amazing. Right, it's an amazing thing, right? Because you start learning, all of a sudden the whole world it's a different world.
Mm-hmm.
The whole world is Jewish.
They just don't all know it.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay,
That's true.
Joyce, what were your 3 5s?
My 3 5s were marriage, spirituality, and achieving peace of mind.
Okay, so if you have to throw one away,
So I figured I have to throw away marriage because without spirituality and peace of mind, I wouldn't have a good marriage.
okay, and now spirituality or peace of mind?
Well, one comes from the other, doesn't it?
Could be not.
So I guess I'd have to pick spirituality.
But you would keep spirituality?
Yeah,
So spirituality is your number 1.
yeah.
Okay, good. Scott, what are your 3 5s again?
Marriage, spirituality, and having children.
Okay, so what do you get rid of?
So this is a tough one. I would, my kids are young.
So tough.
In 10 years,
Right.
I probably would have thrown out having children.
No. Then it's even worse. because then you've raised your children.
Really?
What you say they're not important to you when they're
They
raised?
are, but maybe they're like rebelling.
Yeah, they're rebelling at that point in time. Yeah, we'll get rid of them. And by the way, I just want to go on record to say when I say having kids, right? When I say having kids, right? I don't mean when they're going around tearing up the house and not listening to you. All right, I'm talking about when I say having kids, that means when before you go to bed at night, you kind of check in their room to make sure that they're doing okay, that they're still breathing, right? Every parent does that, right? Right, okay? Right? And so, and they're lying there in bed and they look so angelic. Like that time, right? Right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, right? So then at that point in time, that's what it's talking about. It's not when they're being rotten in pain, you just want to get rid of the pain. Right? Because remember, kids are generally more pain than pleasure. That's just how it works. And so you got to enjoy the pleasure when you have it, and you got to grin through the pain as you have it, right? And so, right, but having children, the concept of having children, right? Obviously very important to you, right? So now...
Yeah, in this moment, I would throw out having children.
Okay. Because so now you...
marriage, spirituality.
Okay, now throw one of those away. What do you keep?
Your wife's not yet.
Meaning, what I'm telling you is, and really the question is, choose your spouse or choose God.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Right?
Yeah.
Man, if you're forced to make that decision, what do you do? And by the way,
I know the right answer, but
and by the way, like another way there are different ways that you could ask the question, but it changes up the question, right? The house is burning, only you or her can get out. Do you get out? Or do you let your wife out?
My wife.
Your wife, right? Not a question, right? We all do that, right? Right? Our spouse goes first, not a question, right? But here, right, so but here comes a question, right? Is that I can have a great marriage, but I can't have God. Or I can have God, but be missing marriage.
The way I'd play it, I would pick the wife, not just because she walked in just now.
Okay.
But I can always get God back.
Okay, no, right. So you're trying to change the rules of the game. I make the rules. You just have to listen to them. You have to choose.
my marriage has helped me see God.
Right. It's faster. Sure. Right. And of course, and that's why it's almost a silly question, right? Because marriage is meant to help you get closer to God. Right? It's meant to help you to become the person you can become. So it's a tool in the process. Right? But I'm saying, take the snapshot. You have to choose one or the other. God said to King Solomon, choose wealth or choose wisdom.
Choose wisdom.
Right? So King Solomon said it's wisdom. So God said, fine, I'll give you both. Right? So you got both. Right? But so what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get us, right, to really figure out, right, what are our priorities, right? You know what I'm saying? Like really, what are our what are our priorities and how this plays out, right? And then when we understand that, then we could then figure out, okay, well then how do we want to spend our lives investing in this, right? To make it, to go to create what it is. You see, we are long gone past talking about financial success, living in a house, right? We're now talking about what's really life about, right? We're talking about, right? It's really now about relationship with God, having a spouse, having children, right? I mean, right? It's really like those, and those really are, right? Are more important to you. At least that's what you're telling me, right?
But doesn't it also have to do with the fact that there's an interplay between all of these? I mean, you can isolate each one of these and say, okay, I'll take family out,
right?
Because okay, I can, I'd rather have my wife than my family if that's the choice.
Right.
But they all come together because if you have Well, I personally, like I said earlier, I love being Jewish and spirituality, and in my opinion, that goes together. But in order to have, but being married is part of being spiritual. So that it's all intertwined. I don't think
correct.
you can separate them.
Well, I'm separating them.
I know you're asking.
And I'm telling you can have A or B. You can't have both.
It's like a Chinese menu. One from column A or one from B, but not two from
right. No, that's what it is. It's to me, this was a fascinating exercise when I actually sat down and did this the first time. Each time we do this, it's a fascinating exercise to me. Because it's forcing, right? It's forcing us to say what really are the things that are important to me. Right? We didn't get to yours yet.
No, but I just said it. I mean, I had family, marriage, and being Jewish. I know marriage would go out.
Okay, so then family. So you pick family over marriage.
Well, again, it's the way I interpret.
Right? No. Okay, so let me interpret family for you. Family is a family you're born into.
Okay, then I misinterpreted it, and then I would go with marriage over family.
Okay, good. Okay, and where would you put being Jewish?
Pardon me?
Where would you put being Jewish? Above family, above marriage, or below marriage?
Put it above personally.
Okay, no. Okay, no. That was my question. Right. Okay, so you and Mark are pretty much on the right. That was also yours, right?
Yeah.
I mean, very interesting. Okay. And by the way, I'll tell you mine also, but I want to first hear all yours. Okay, Joyce, what are your threes?
My threes.
Hey, excuse me, your ones. What are they not ones?
Fives.
Your fives. That's what I meant.
Fives.
Your 3 5s. Yeah. What are your 3
My
5s?
3 5s were marriage, spirituality, and achieving peace of mind.
Okay, and so we said, and we did say.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, good. Okay. Did we get everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll tell you mine. So I have my 3 5s are marriage, spirituality, and being Jewish.
And knock one off?
I would have to marriage would be. And then my last 2, spirituality or being Jewish.
You would pick spirituality.
It's not a simple question.
But none of these.
Right. No. But the sages discuss this. Is being Jewish such an amazing thing that even being Jewish and like just being Jewish but not doing anything with it, or being a non-Jew and having a great relationship with God? But being Jewish is something that is so special and so unique that it could be, it draws more horsepower than spiritual and not Jewish.
Is this Seventh-day Adventist, would you say that person has a great relationship with God?
Okay.
They practice their religion?
Okay, all other religions except Judaism. There's only one other religion, right, besides Judaism, right, and that is the Noahites. Right, God gave 2 religions to the world. He gave Judaism, and he gave being a Noahide. Okay, right? That was for the rest of the world. The 7 commandments to the rest of the world. So as long as somebody does those seven commandments to the world, they are considered righteous. They're a righteous Gentile.
Noahide, what does it mean, Noahide?
Noahide means from Noah and the flood.
Okay.
So Noah. So the 6 of these were given to Adam in the Garden of Eden. The 7th was given to Noah, and so since he rounded out to 7, right? So we count all 7 by him. Okay, that sort of is what we do. Right, you follow me? And so therefore, at that point in time, right, those are the 2 things. So there are many. I mean, we say straight out, there are many righteous Gentiles, Christians, Muslims, Seventh-day Adventists, whatever it is, right? That are in heaven. You don't have to be Jewish to get to heaven. Now, you might be sitting in the, bleachers, right? Maybe sitting right
Second
because right.
Second balcony.
Second, right? They might be up in upper reserves, right? But it's right. A Jew who has invested in their relationship with God is a way more powerful place to be, right? And so that sort of is what, right? So there's nothing wrong being not Jewish. I mean, someone says to me, Rabbi, I'll be Jewish, but I'm only going to do half the commandments. Right? So it's probably better. It's better in God's eyes to be non-Jewish and follow the 7 commandments, and do them properly. And then it starts getting complicated because how do you do them properly? Right? There's no code of Jewish law. There's no Shulchan Aruch that we Jews are lucky that have. So we kind of have all these discussions and all these things written out. Right? So you see, you follow. Okay. So that's really and that's why to me spirituality being Jewish, I'm saying is from a Jewish perspective, a very fascinating question. Right? But that's again, you have to choose everything. At the end of the day, that's what being Jewish, spirituality, this relationship with God, right, is really what this whole world is about. It's why we're here. Right? We're down here on a journey. Our souls are down here on a mission. We have a mission to fulfill. Right? We have a mission that we're doing. Right? And that's what we're trying to achieve. And we're trying to kind of move forward in that. Yeah.
Rabbi, I think that, Jews are the vessel that God used to manifest, Himself to the universe, the whole humanity.
Right.
But we've been blessed at the beginning from wherever we come from, and God made us Jewish people.
Right.
But if we choose not to, respect the covenant,
Right.
okay, that doesn't. If we choose not to respect the covenant and do whatever God say, so we still Jewish, but we are disobedient Jews, right?
Right.
Okay, and so as a Jews, and I just defined the what it means to be Jewish, and then so what is the spirituality and being a Jewish? I think there is what is the difference there?
So the answer is you could be Jewish and not have a relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Your mother's Jewish and born a Jew, but you don't have a relationship with God. We know lots of Jews like that.
A gastronomic Jew.
A gastronomic Jew, whatever it is, right? Or even somebody that ain't gastronomically Jewish. They just Jewish and it doesn't mean anything. Right? You know what I'm saying? And there's not a value with that. Right? Like that's really where it comes from. Right? So it's fascinating, but that's where really that's why I said that I'm not even sure what the right answer is. So I put spirituality and being Jewish, right? I put them right. That's my one. And then thank God I don't have to choose. Right. So that's right, but that's what it is. Right. It's we're in this world to create that relationship with God. Right? That's why we're here. And so then that's really kind of to figure out, right? So we have 5, so we have an A, B, and a C. And so you put a little A, B, a C next to it, right? And
Rabbi, the people say I'm spiritual, but they reject God right away. They say no, I'm not religious. Frankie, stop talking about your God, but I'm just a spiritual.
Right.
And that's why I get confused and they say, what do you mean to be spiritual?
Right. So how do they answer that question?
They represent. They say, well, if I have a trees and I can see God through the trees, and I said, you don't make I think that's wrong because it says you don't make any of my creature cannot be you cannot worship any of those creatures.
Right. Yeah, I mean, right.
But you just see them like. Say, okay,
Right. Well, people think that that's what means spirituality. That there's some, amorphous thing, right? What Judaism says is that there's a way to create a relationship with God, right? And that's driven by the commandments, right? And that's our goal is to create those that relationship with God, right? And that's how we do it, and that's what it means to be, right? To being spiritual. Right? Being spiritual doesn't mean that I feel spiritual. Person feeling spiritual doesn't really mean much. Right? It's not It's just not important.
So what does it mean to be spiritual?
Being spiritual means having a relationship with God.
Yeah.
The only way to be spiritual is following God's rules on how to create a relationship with Him, not our own rules. Right? And that's the problem, is that we go ahead and we make our own rules instead of listening to God's rules. Right? That's right. That's really what happens. Right? There's a right and a wrong. There's a right. I'm building sukkahs now. So the schach has to be over the wall. Well, it's close enough. Could be, but it's not a sukkah. Right? There are rules on how to build it. Right? How do you make it? Right? What's the right way? What's the wrong way? Right? Those are the questions. Right? What's the right one? What's the wrong way? Right? And how does that work? And so figuring that out, that's what it's all about. And so that's why. Okay, so good. So we have our 3 5s, right? Okay, let's do our 3 4s.
Do we count the one that we bumped?
No. We're just the one that you bumped. Just call that 5C now. Okay, so you had a 5C, 5A, and 5B. Right? But now I'm going to make you that. I'm going to make you do the 4s, the same thing. Right? You have 3 4s, right? Get rid of one. Right? Which one are you going to dump?
Well, I had family, making contribution to community, and having children.
Okay.
If I have to dump others, making a contribution to community. I'll dump that.
And done that. Okay. Good. Okay, and then what about what was the other 2 4s? Family
or
children.
Or children.
Yeah.
Having children.
Yeah.
If I had to choose, it's a hard one, but if I had to choose, I'd choose having children and dumping.
Family. Okay, so 4A is having children, right? 4B is family, and 4C is making a contribution to humanity.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
That would
Good.
be me.
That'll be you. Okay. Good.
Right, sorry. How you define the family again?
Family means the family you're born into.
Like a
Siblings.
daddy,
Siblings.
Daddy and mommy's brothers.
Yeah, daddy, mom, brothers and sisters.
Oh.
Right. That's family. Right, because children is its own category. Right.
Definitely.
Okay.
Spelled T-Z-U-R.
Alrighty.
But you hear people who say, I'm gonna have a thing with my family, and then I think what they mean there is the husband, wife, and children, right?
Right.
Mostly in common here.
Right. No. So family means your parents and your siblings. Right. I mean, let's say you were in heaven, and they offer your soul 2 choices. Choice A. Right. Choice A is you can have kids, but you won't have any family. Or you can have a great family, but no kids.
If I'm allowed into heaven, I'll take either one. I don't care.
Right, no, but it's on your soul on the way in.
Yes.
Right, and you have to choose one or the other.
But that's not a fair choice because you've got family before you have children.
No, not necessarily. Say your parents die
Before you got to know them.
before you got to know them.
That's a different choice.
But even in a circumstance like that, the likelihood is that you would have some sort of family.
I understand, of course, the likelihood. But I'm not asking you the likelihood. I'm asking you the importance of that, of you having what you have.
Well, don't you think that someone who lost parents early on would find it very important to have a surrogate family?
Absolutely.
That's not the choice.
Right, that's again, that's not the choice I'm offering you. Hot dogs are good, but I'm offering you ribs or wings, not hot dogs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right? You know what I'm saying? So you gotta pick what you're gonna pick. Right? So now, right? And really, the exercise is really worth to me. It hopefully is shedding light, because right on how you think for yourself. Right? What are my priorities? What are the important things? Right? I mean, God willing, God should bless you all with great families and great marriages and great kids and all financial success in the world, and you should have all these things. Right? Okay, so you have all of these things. How do you spend your time? Man, how are you ranking these? Where are you going to spend the time doing these things? Right? These become very sophisticated questions. Right? Because the one thing that we don't have is unlimited time. We only have the amount of time that God has given us. We don't have more. Right? And we're spending our time. Time is a commodity. It's like cash. So if cash comes and goes, time just goes. Right? And you got to figure out what are you doing with that? And where you spending your life? Right? Where's that going? And getting that squared away is really. And then once you even know how you want to do it, then you have to look at yourself, because probably most of the time you're not even doing what you would want to do. And so then saying, okay, well, what do I want to do? And how am I going to do it? And how am I going to get there? Making that plan. And that's Yom Kippur. Right? Yom Kippur is a time to say, okay, God, I'm sorry for all the things that I messed up, right? And now I'm going to make the plan to move forward to do the right thing, the right way, and getting that all squared away.
Point of clarification. You said on Yom Kippur you say you're sorry for all the things you did wrong.
Yeah.
Why say sorry now if in Rosh Hashanah you've already been inscribed?
That's a fantastic question. You missed you over Rosh Hashanah. The answer is, I'll give you the quick answer.
Okay.
On Rosh Hashanah is your year looking forward. It's in this coming up year, God, you are my king, and I'm going to make you king.
But you said you already inscribed.
Right, you're ready to inscribe. You're ready to inscribe.
So why look backwards?
Because God says, okay, now let's take a look at your previous year and see how well you did. See whether that you say you want to create a relationship with me, or I'm your king. You had to look back at your year last year and you didn't do so well. So if you want me to give you another life based on what you did this past year, I gotta think you're a good investment. Right? You're asking God to invest in you and give you another year. Right? Isn't that what we're doing? Right? We're asking God to go ahead and to invest in it and to say, God, I need another year. So when you invest in that, right? When you invest in that, looking the year forward, right? So then at that point in time, are you a good investment? Right? And so we come in Rosh Hashanah, we come in Yom Kippur, and really not to wait till Yom Kippur, by the way. Right? During these 10 days, right? We're 9 days in. Right? Is we really want to show God that we're really starting to clean house. Right? And that we're fixing up all the things that we did wrong. Right? And we're trying to create a better me. Right? Right? And so Yom Kippur is a time when I go and up to now, tomorrow morning, right? Going ahead, right? Because remember, God says before you come speak to me, make sure you've straightened it out with everyone else. It's not just about me.
So Rosh Hashanah is the time when everybody gets inscribed, right?
Yes.
And
The sealing.
The seal of your faith comes in Rosh Hashanah.
On Yom Kippur.
On Yom Kippur. And
Yeah.
Rosh Hashanah is
Rosh Hashanah is when he get written in.
Can still change.
written in.
Yeah, you get written. Right. You get ready. I mean, I'll tell you, I was in court today for 2 hours. I hate going to court. It's just a real drain of my time. I was subpoenaed. I had to go. But it's always good to go before Yom Kippur. Like this time of year to show up in court, it's always like a good time to be there. And it's always a good time to be there. And And you know, and so it's funny. So I was talking to the divorce case, and so I was talking to the other counsel, and so we were talking, and nice people, and so then. They said, it's much better. They said to me, it's much better if we work this out now, because once you go in front of the judge, all bets are off. The judge can do whatever he wants, right? And I think to myself, what a message before Yom Kippur, right? We're sitting here, we're trying to explain to God why we really do deserve a new life on this, right? Why He really should invest in us, right? We're making our case, our closing arguments, right? We're getting this all squared away. And guess what? When it gets in front of the judge, the judge can do whatever he wants. That's the rule in the courthouse. The judge is the boss. Right? And I can think of no greater message for Yom Kippur. The judge is the boss. And he does what he wants. And we can make our arguments on why we think we deserve another life, another year of life. But it's up to God. It's kind of like the music stops playing. Like up to now, it's Sim Kumbaya, it's fantastic, right? But then you got to pay the piper, right? There's an end to this when there's no longer. It's not a question any longer of kind of just hanging out or just it seems nice, yada yada you, right? This now comes to a place of where you got to pay. The decision's being met, and that's what Yom Kippur is, right? This is where the decree is getting signed. Yep, amazing, right? That's really what it is, right? But understanding our priorities, understanding what Rosh Hashanah is, because Rosh Hashanah is. I'm sure you noticed during the prayers, Rosh Hashanah did not include a lot of asking God to forgive us. Right?
It doesn't?
Not really. Not really. It's not in the prayers. What are the prayers of Rosh Hashanah about?
Return.
Kingship. God, you're my king. And you're my king, and therefore what?
I will obey.
I will worship.
Right? Therefore my job is to serve you, to make you king. And I'm going, if you give me another year of life, right, then I can use it to make you king. Right? That's basically the discussion we have with God. Right? That's the discussion we have with God. Right? That's the discussion we have with God. And now, after that, now we got to go. So great, we're at tzaddik now, right? We're righteous, okay, right? We're ready to go forward. Except we got a long tail behind us, right? Right? We have a whole bunch of dreck that we caused over this past year, right? Right? That we weren't as clean as we would have liked it. Right? We left a mess behind us.
Oh, okay.
And so what do we try to do now? Clean up the mess. Right? Go ahead and just clean up the mess. That's what we have to do. Right? That's our job. Right? To clean up the mess. Right? And that's what we're doing now. So you see, so Yom Kippur, the whole the crux of the davening Yom Kippur is, please forgive me for all the mess that I've created. Forgive me for this mess, and forgive me for that mess. Forgive me for this mess, forgive me for that mess. Forgive me when I did this, and forgive me when I did that. Forgive me when I did this, and forgive me when I did that. Right? And that, by the way, and I want to tell you something. You're not only asking forgiveness for yourself.
Yeah, it's collective.
You're asking collective for the Jewish people. Right? Right? You're right. You're working.
Most of the prayers are forgive us.
They're all
We
in
did this.
plural, right? We did this. And what do you mean we did this? You didn't do that. Why are you asking God to forgive you?
We're a member of the same community.
Remember, and therefore,
We have responsibility
I'm
for
my brother's
everyone.
keeper.
I am my brother's keeper. And maybe I could have inspired them, and I didn't. maybe I could have changed the way they acted. Maybe if I would have schlepped them to a data class, maybe they might have learned a little different, and they wouldn't have done it. Right? And all of a sudden, right, we have lots of culpability. You know, I sit there going, you know, if I would have gave the class, but maybe said it like this, then instead of like that, maybe somebody would have been an extra person that would have been inspired to do something right. Right? And we're standing in front of God, who knows everything. Right? There's nothing that when it's right, and we're saying, God, I'm sorry. Right? And that's you know, did I bring the holiness, right, of God? Did I bring it down to this world, or did I not? Right? And yay or nay. Right? And that's really Yom Kippur, and that's what we're doing now. Right? And we show God that we're going to change from last year, so that gets us a lot of points. Right? It gets us a lot of right? It gets us a lot of stroke, because God can say, "Oh, look at this guy. He said he was sorry." Right? He said, "I'm his king," and look. And I know last year he was busy doing other things, but now he's already made some changes. Right? To back up his talk with some action. Right? That's impressive. God likes that. That's the candy. You could bribe God, you know, right? Show him that we're trying to change. Because other than that, we're humans, right? And we take time to change, but we have to put the effort into to change, right? And are we willing to do that? You know, and to me, and it's a kind of just it's looking this stuff. You know, it's you have to come to the talk tomorrow night. It's some very insightful things that I'll share with you. But it's very, very interesting, right? Because at the end of the day, we get to make lots of choices, but it's not the choices that you and I think when we really have choices.
What time is it talk tomorrow night?
Kollel is 7 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Like,
In the morning.
no. Tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening, 7 p.m.
Go.
Okay, that's the Kollel service starts then. Right? The fast starts right around then. Right? And right in Dallas, Texas, the fast is starting 7. Candlelighting, I think, is...
Candlelighting 7:10, Kollel 7:20.
Yeah, okay.
So how does the woman light the candle and get to shul in 10 minutes?
Oh.
In less than 10 minutes.
No. So first of all, you can light it earlier. You don't have to wait till 7:10.
How
So
much
light it
early?
earlier.
Like half an hour early?
You could light it. You could even light it half an hour early.
Within an hour is okay?
You within an hour is okay. Actually, the technical answer is within an hour and a quarter of sundown. Not of candlelighting time, because
So
candlelighting
sundown?
time is already 18 minutes before sundown.
So if it's, let's say 7:15 sundown, you can light it up at 6:20?
It's 7:10.
7:15 sundown.
If 7 sundown, okay. Well, let's just do it very simple.
Huh?
Sundown tomorrow night is 7:28.
Okay.
Okay, so it means you could light 6:28.
6:30.
Right? You could light red 6. Right? You could already light at 6:30 and come. Okay. Right. So you could go do that. Right. So then at that point in time, you go ahead and you, right. It's another piece.
And you can still drive?
And you can. Oh, so very interesting. So if your wife, okay, this becomes a little more complicated. So if your wife lit candles, you can still drive. The question is her.
Yeah.
So what she should say is as follows: let her light candles, but don't say shechianu. Okay, because she says shechianu, then it gets more complicated. And let her say before she lights the candles that she's not accepting Shabbos until she gets to Shul.
No, but
Yantif, right? Yantif.
Okay.
And then you should open the car door for her. She'd go in, she closes the car door, then you could drive her to Shul. Then you're okay.
But shouldn't you always open the car door for her?
Ah, yes. But now you have to. And you have to beforehand as well.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Right. But now.
Put her in the boot.
Right. Right. So that's right. So that's the way to do it. And then she'll say the shachyarim with everybody else in shul.
So basically, on Yom Kippur, when you light the candles, is the same as on Shabbos, except you add the.
You do the hadlik ner shel Yom Kippur, right?
Yom Kippur, yes.
Right. Right. You don't do it for
You
Shabbos.
you say Yom Kippur or you say Yom Tov? No.
Oh, okay. That's a good question. I think Yom Kippur,
Yom
but
Kippur, yeah.
whatever the machzor says is what you do.
Specifically-
Whatever the art scroll machzor tells you to do, that's what you do. Okay.
Because if
That's
it's
it.
specifically certain,
Yeah,
like
right.
Yom Kippur, you say Yom Kippur.
Right. No, there's usually hadlik ner shel yantif. He's right. It's usually shel
Just
yantif.
Yom Tov is
But I
general.
think it might say.
I think you say Yom.
I think it's a yantif. I think so. I have to
It's
take a look.
interesting because it's too general to say just Yom Tov because it's.
You didn't render, but it's a yantif. But that's what it is. So anyway, okay.
No, but just a quick question.
Yes.
Do you know, can we still park in the church grounds?
What do you mean?
They still allow them
Sure. Yeah.
for the whole.
Yeah. The church parking is very important. They are very kind to us. The church next to Torah Torah is very kind.
The $2 prepaid. It's
The-
for me.
The hard part is if we fall out on a Sunday.
Yeah.
But I don't think Yom Kippur will fall out on a Sunday, by the way. So I think we're okay. And but otherwise they're very cool. Okay. So anyway, so
Rabbi, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What is the learner service is like 7:20?
7 o'clock tomorrow night. Till when? Till I'm done.
It's about 7:15 on Wednesday.
It's okay. There's no dinner. There's no dinner on Tuesday night.
Oh,
So
no.
you're not running home to eat. Okay, so there's no meal Tuesday night.
No rush.
No rush to get home. Right, the learner service starts till 7 o'clock on Tuesday night. On Tuesday night, and we'll be over at 8:13 on Wednesday. And even I, who is always late, will be very close to 8:13. I don't want to get in anyone's way of anyone who hasn't eaten yet. Yeah.
The learner will be over the Wednesday.
Wednesday at 8:13 at night.
AM?
No, PM.
Oh.
So you have to go all day Wednesday without eating.
No, that's a Wednesday. I'm talking
Right.
about Kollel, right? On
Kollel night we start at 7. We'll probably be done around 8:45.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that's-
it's. I mean, it depends how it's going. Depends how I'm feeling.
So we all go.
It's a really good. I'm telling you, I'm excited about the talk. It's really.
So if your talk goes long, does that mean you're feeling good or not so good?
You know, it means I'm feeling good.
Okay.
Actually, it means that people probably are listening. Try to read my audience. That's a tshuva that I'm doing. Okay. Okay, so fine. So we have our. Did everyone do their fours? Did everyone rank their fours?
No, I didn't.
No. Okay, Peter. Kenny? What are your fours?
Well, I have spirituality, having children, and giving my children a strong Jewish identity. Well,
Oh my
clearly
God.
spirituality stays. I mean, that
Okay, it should be number 5. No, but go ahead.
different interpretation from what I expected
Okay.
at the outset. So
Okay, go ahead.
that's, if I interpret things correctly.
Okay, right.
Now, having children and giving children a Jewish identity, I mean, I think it's more important to give children a Jewish identity, whether they're your own or somebody else's. So I would leave out having children. You can't do one without the other, but
Right,
you have to
right,
leave
okay,
out.
right.
Giving someone a Jewish identity is probably more important.
Right, okay, good. Okay. Mark, what are your fours?
Spirituality,
Yeah.
having a good reputation,
Mhm.
achieving peace of mind.
Okay. So rank them.
I achieve a peace of mind through a spirituality. So I guess I have to demote a good reputation.
And you sound sad.
Because a good reputation is important.
Right.
Yeah,
And
but-
isn't it interesting?
But you're improving your good reputation upstairs, so.
Okay, all right, that makes it easier.
Man, I'll
Thank you.
tell you what the Talmud says. Talmud actually has a great line. It says, "Better to be a fool in the eyes of man all the days of your life than found to be a fool for 1 second in front of God.
That's wonderful said.
Right?
Yes.
Let me repeat that. It's more important to be found a fool in the eyes of man all the days of your life, rather than to go ahead and be found for a second a fool in the eyes of God. Right? Meaning, remember the audience we're playing to. Who's the audience we're playing to?
God.
God. So everyone else doesn't matter. Now the problem is, we get sucked into this world and we think it matters. When they're not our audience, you're playing to the wrong audience. And we have to learn to play to the right audience. It's the audience of one. That's God. It's the only thing that matters. And so you're following, and that's now God says, I want people to look at you and think that you're amazing. Right? And you're a good example of what I want in this world. Right? Mm-hmm. But now, okay. But understand your audience is God, not people. Okay, so having a good reputation is your 4C. But now you have two things, right? Spirituality or...
Achieving peace of mind.
Okay, so which one's more important?
I cannot have peace of mind without being spiritual.
Correct. Nobody can. Unless they don't have a mind.
So,
which, by the way, most of the world has given themselves a lobotomy.
yes.
Because, no, I kid you not, because it's much easier not to think about it. Right? Because once you have to stop and think about it, it's going to change. It might make you change your behavior. And that it might make you change who you are. And so they'd much rather just not think about it. They might even get upset at you if you're making them think about it. Right? That's what's happened. Right? So and that's the thing. This thing is really fascinating. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something that really just important what to do. Okay, then we'll do their 4s.
I didn't.
Okay.
Being Jewish, personal fulfillment, and giving my children a strong Jewish identity.
Okay.
Probably personal fulfillment.
Okay, that would be your C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then children, Jewish identity, and then being Jewish.
So the most important one would be
Being Jewish.
being Jewish. Yeah. Okay. So that's fascinating. Joyce, did we do you?
I don't think we did my 4s.
Okay, what are your 4s?
Family, making a contribution to my community, making a contribution to humanity, and acquiring self-knowledge.
Okay, well, first of all, you only allowed 3 4s.
Yeah.
So drop one.
Okay, well, I don't care about humanity or community, so...
They're really not that important, huh?
Yeah.
Alrighty, so those are, okay, 3 and 4C. Good, go ahead.
Okay.
So then you're left with
So
family.
That leaves family and acquiring self-knowledge.
Okay.
Now I gotta throw one of those out.
Yes.
Okay, well, I guess self-knowledge then. That's a tough one.
What? The family should be flattered. This exercise is amazing. I have to think it's amazing, right? Because it really forces you. And so now, but I do want to show something amazing. I think everyone across the board, right? God family is like 1 2, right? 2 1 1 2. Right? I think that's right. Or God marriage, right? That's really right. Right, God and Jewish, right, marriage. That's really the 1 2s. So, what do you think is a reasonable amount of time to devote towards it?
A lot.
towards.
Those goals. Your goals, not my goals. Your goals.
More than we do.
Huh. What a shocking answer. Right, but you hear what I'm saying, right? Right? And so that becomes the challenge. Right? Is that really how we're spending our time is not matching up with what is really our values. And you're following, right? You're following? So tomorrow night, when Yom Kippur comes around, we have what to do tshuva. I was worried because I had nothing to do tshuva about. I checked my records. Everything was fantastic. Right?
No way.
I don't have that problem.
Right? But it's very interesting. Good. So now I'm going to ask you a question. Pick Okay, we'll start it slow. Pick one thing that you want to improve on this year.
Out of this list.
What?
Out of this list?
No!
Oh,
No. This list is the worksheet.
okay.
Okay, now you have to go fill out the tax form, okay? Right, we got the worksheet down, right? Hopefully now you've kind of prioritized what's important to you, right? We've got your top 6 priorities in life, right? Your 3 5s and your 3 4s. So now now that you understand that, you can pick something that's number 19 that you're going to work on. But if there's one thing in the world that you might want to fix this coming up, I'm not sure that your number 19 would be the top slot. It maybe should be your 19th slot. You following? Mm-hmm. Okay, good. So now pick something that you want to change for this upcoming year.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a minute to think about that.
Maybe an hour.
You did have 8 days.
We got a lot more
Actually,
considered from the first of all.
That's at first of all, a little bit. You had 38 days. And it's by the way, just on a side note, it's fascinating. You take a look how the Jewish holidays are set up, but it's amazing, really, how it's made, just sort of to get you focused, right, on putting your priorities in. Right? It's actually quite interesting. I find it fascinating. Start the month of Elul, we start blowing the shofar. And then the week before Rosh Hashanah, we start doing slichas. And extra prayers in the morning. And we have Rosh Hashanah. And then we have the 10 days of repentance, right? That we're Aseret Yemei Tshuva, that we're in the middle of now, right? Which is now like even more slichos, right? Avinu Malkeinu in the mornings and afternoons, right? Our Father, our Kings, we're saying those, right, twice a day, right? We're working our way through those things, and then, right, and now comes Yom Kippur when it's like, heck, we're pleading for our lives. And then we walk out of Yom Kippur, we walk out happy. God certainly has accepted our prayers because we put the work in. And then we have Sukkot, which is just a time of heady celebration of 40 days of just tough work. Right? So that's fascinating. I just find it just as an aside. Okay, put that aside. That was just a thought I just wanted to share with you. Okay. One thing you could change for this coming up year. Okay, Frank, you can give me 2.
Fear.
Fear.
Uh-huh.
The what?
Be fear on by confronting, I'm not a perfect person.
I know that. I know.
But I fear to
From one perfect person to another perfect person, I know.
Fear confronting, authorities when it comes to, message about God. Sometimes sometimes I feel like, oh, if I say this now, they're gonna shoot me or they're gonna do something. And then now I kind of I start thinking about the sins of Rosh Hashanah and said, well, I think I get to improve that. I give God because I'm not operating or saying this thing for me, but it's also for God. So I think like God say to Ezekiel, go and tell them, don't be afraid. I am with you. So, and then I kind of try to strengthen myself.
Right.
Push the fear aside.
Okay, good. Peter, what about
What's
you?
the question?
What's the one thing you're gonna work on this year?
It's a lot, to be honest.
You can start with one.
Just pick on someone else.
Pick out somebody else. Okay. Well, Kenny will.
I'll
Kenny.
have an equally good answer. No, I think it's pretty.
Come on, you guys are doctors. You're professionals. This is. We're in the lab here. This is like don't just go ahead. Like confront your fears. It's like like Frankie said. Don't be chicken.
I think that over the last year, I took a couple of baby steps in getting, in terms of spirituality.
Right.
And I think if I increase that, I think it pours down to the others. I mean, if you
Good.
become more spiritual, I think you have better relationship with your wife, better relationship with your family. So a lot of it just
Trickle down. Wait. It's fascinating. It's fascinating.
That's what I wanted to say.
He said the same thing.
Yeah, no. So that's good. So let me ask you. Okay, so now here's the question. So which spiritual things are you going to work on this year?
Well, that's easy. Because I want to get a better depth of knowledge of Torah.
Right.
And so in order to do that, one of the things that I've started to do already is, for example, when I read
The Chumash.
the Chumash, it gives references to either Tuvim or Nevi'im or something like that. So I add to what I'm doing by doing that, and you get a much better understanding. So I think that kind of thing really makes a
Good.
difference.
Excellent. Okay. Is there any practice that you want to change for this year?
Go back into practice.
Right, you gave it one practice for the other practice.
I don't know. I mean, probably, but I don't know off the top of my head which it would be.
Right. So I'm just saying, like that's something. So I'll give you the top like three. Like Shabbos, kosher. And again, and really, what's good is that it's baby steps. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? It's not
a leap.
It's not everything. You don't have to keep everything, right? It could be, once a month I'm going to try to be Shomer Shabbos, or you know what I'm saying, or right? I think you're doing Friday night dinners anyway, pretty much.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been much better about Shabbos too.
Right. Maybe I put away my phone for Shabbos.
Well, I put away the computer. I put away the telephone. I mean, put away the TV. A lot of that stuff.
That's great.
It really
Right.
makes a difference.
Right, it does. It's funny, and it kind of snowballs.
Well, that's probably been the hardest thing for me, is giving up the TV and cell phone
Right.
on Shabbos.
Right.
Or you don't.
Right. Sure. I remember when I stopped listening to news, it was like, I thought the world was going to fall apart. No, I was there with you. I understand it is.
It actually gets better.
And actually gets better, right? It gets better when you stop listening
You
to
don't
it.
hear it. It's much better.
Right. Right. Remember, it's like that's something along those lines. Or kosher, stop buying kosher products, or today's my kosher day, or my lunch is gonna be kosher. You know what I'm saying? Like picking stuff
kosher hasn't been, for me personally, hasn't been hard to keep.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Your wife cooks. So you whatever she gives you.
But everything's available. I mean,
It is. It happens to be fascinating, right? It's fascinating on what's.
much more than you realize.
One of the things that we've realized is that we've become much more cognizant of being what's kosher. And what's
Medicine, right? And that's the first step, right? I mean, I tell people, I say, if you look through your pantry, most of the stuff in your pantry is kosher. And it just is. The products, and the amount of kosher stuff available today is so vast. You know, it's like.
Still can't find blue cheese.
Did you ask Rabbi
I found
Klein?
a blue cheese, non-dairy blue cheese at the new kosher pallet.
Oh yeah.
I just left it at Jason's when I was
Oh,
shopping.
Okay, there you go. You found blue
Okay.
cheese. Okay.
Yeah, tell me.
I forgot. I'm glad you mentioned it. It's in their refrigerator.
Blue cheese is no dairy.
It's a non-dairy blue cheese.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
must be Arla friend.
Right, so something like that, you know, like something along those lines, or you know, like because I'll tell you, because learning is good, learning is probably the first thing actually, but then to do some practice, right, to change some behavior, yeah, you know what I'm saying, like that's really, you know, change a behavior.
For example.
Actions speak louder than
You can learn about kosher, right, and you know what I'm saying, go completely, you know, like everything, but at least the things that you can control, or in areas, right, you know, that you just you could do them, just you're lazy, you know what I'm saying, like it's just right, just whatever, right. So taking them and moving them upward, right, those are the things that could really be helpful, right, because I tell you, it's interesting. You want to concretize your thoughts, right? You want to turn them into some sort of action, and so therefore to go ahead and to do an action, right, on the thought that you have, and you know what I'm saying, like that's and then once you change your behavior, you modify your behavior. I'll give you an example. Let's say you have an issue that you get angry. And so it affects your marriage, affects your relationships, your family, right? It affects all your relationships. So you know what? I'm going to study about not getting angry. I'm going to study about it. That's person A. Person B says, I'm going to study about it.
And I'm going to implement.
Right, and I'm going to make it that I see I get angry at, I seem to be, most of my anger spats. All right, this time, from 7 to 9, from 7 to 7:30, I'm going to try to make sure that I'm going to be cognizant aware that from 7 to 7:30, I'm not going to get angry. You set your alarm, 5 to 7, so then you can get your last anger spat out before 7 o'clock. Come 7 o'clock, right, then you set your stopwatch for half an hour, because your 7 to 7:30 is your anger-free zone. So that's, which person has a better chance at changing their behavior? Second, right? That's all it is. So it's behavior modification, right? It's right. We want to take a step to change something, do it at the right time. So that's sort of the piece that I'm advocating for, right? Is right to go ahead and to say, right? So what behavior can I change? Right? You following? Right? So that's the piece that like if we could narrow that down and get that clarified. Right, so then that's something that really that is very helpful. Right, and so kind of to try to figure out, right, what behavior am I going to change? Usually I tell people pick one between man and God and one between man and man. right? Right, the one between man and himself. Right, but that's pick one in each of these areas. And let's say anger. Let's take anger for a moment. So you want to change anger. So really, is to study about anger, right? Right. There's some good Jewish books on anger. I think Rabbi Breakneck, she wrote a whole book on anger. Or read Nachmanides' letter. Right. Read it every.
That's really good.
That's really good, right? It's reading it every. Right. It's almost finished now, right? Today was the last day.
Two chapters.
2 chapters left there. Right. So that's right. Right, to go to do that. Right? Okay. So does anyone want to volunteer what they want to work on this year?
I want to take a half a step to the right on the religious spectrum, be a little bit more observant.
Okay. I'm going to get closer to God.
Yeah.
That's an amazing thing. And do you have the idea on how you want to accomplish that?
I still battle the Shema Shabbos thing. It's very difficult for me.
You kept that Shabbos once, right?
Yes.
And what was difficult about it?
I felt I was missing things.
Good. Like what?
Saturday afternoon football.
Watching a stupid movie.
Okay, but you watch a stupid movie at night when Shabbos is over.
Yeah.
So then you didn't really miss anything.
And
There's a lot of potential when Shabbos comes in earlier. I see a lot of potential.
Yeah, right. No, right. When Shabbos starts earlier, so then it's easier, right? Because then your Shabbos
and the
over.
inconvenience with the lights.
It's a bummer. Well, that's what inconvenience. You see, it's funny. I don't look at it as inconvenience. I grew up in a house where if you left the light on the room when you walked out, I'd hear you're supporting the Arabs, right? Like, turn the light off. What do you think this is, right? You leave the door open. How could that be, right? Right. And so that's a lot of my mentality. I share that, and so, but then realize that this is what God wants me to do. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's reorienting your mind around it. And it's interesting, right? Because I will tell you something interesting. You didn't watch a stupid movie on Saturday afternoon. But what did you do instead on Saturday afternoon?
Thought about what stupid movies I'm going to watch in couple hours. I'm sorry.
That's great. Okay, so let me give you a suggestion. What was number 1 and 2 on your list?
Marriage, being Jewish.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So first of all, by not watching the movie on Shabbos, that's being Jewish.
Yeah.
So I have a good suggestion. Why don't, instead of Shabbos afternoon watching a movie, why don't you sit down with your wife and have a nice talk?
He didn't watch a movie, so I don't know why he's talking.
No. He's saying that's what he missed.
Oh yeah.
No. I get that. So take your number 2, and move it to that time. Someone told me a great thing. He said, for something to live, something must die. Okay.
No.
Okay. So it's a very interesting concept. It's a smart thing. He says, Rabbi, you want to take on another project, right? Mm-hmm. He says, well, you only have 24 hours in your day. So what are you throwing out of your day that now you're going to put this new project in? Right? So for something to live, something must die. Mm-hmm. Right? You following me? Right? You got it. And so really, Shabbos is saying, you should reshuffle your priorities, what you're going to do on Shabbos. You want to watch a movie? Great. You have 6 days to watch movies. Mm-hmm. Right? There's 168 hours in a week. Right? So 24 of them, you can't watch a movie. Right? So 144 hours you can watch movies. 24 hours, don't watch movies. Instead, put the things that are really important, put it in there. And don't look at it that I'm missing the movie. Look at that. Look, I'm going to spend quality time with my wife. Which, if I asked you what's more important, watching this movie or spending time with your wife, what would you say?
No contest.
No contest, right? For sure.
The movie is.
She's here. I can't say
Right, and it's actually funny because a guy would say, "Well, if I watch it with my wife, so I'm doing something with her." That's the guy response, right? And the female response to that is, and I'm saying, you see, in Mars, we go do something together. Even watching a movie, that's bonding time.
Yes.
So we could sit and watch an entire football game, and not say 2 words to each other, and we had a great time because we
Yeah.
bonded. Women, though, in Venus, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
In Venus, that's called ignoring me when you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they don't like doing things together, right? They don't like doing things that watching something together. In Venus, it's going ahead and it's talking to each other. That's the way they feel that you're communicating with each other. You're bonding. So if you want to bond with your wife, so great. Talk to her.
See, 2 guys could go fishing for
Never say a
for
word
5
for
hours,
5 hours.
About 5 hours.
and we bonded.
Well,
It
of
was
course
a great
we did.
time.
And that's why there's no talking because it's going to scare away the fish.
Right.
And that keeps the women off the boat.
Yes.
Right? No, I get it. I got the drill down.
Except when the woman's a better sailor.
Right. So but that's exactly how it works, right? So put in something that's more important, right? You know what I'm saying, right? Like shift it around.
Mhm.
Play a game with your wife, right? You know, I just did a Shabbaton this past weekend, so had a bunch of games out. You know, you gotta do something nice. Make sure she wins. Right. Okay. Right. But to go ahead and to right. That's the idea of taking things and making them important.
Most of the lights are on dimmers, and you can move the dimmer up.
No.
You have to leave it where it's
Leave it
at.
where it is.
Okay.
Let me explain to you. I'm going to explain to you how lights work in Shabbos. It's very simple. Okay, all the public rooms in the house, the lights stay on. No, like in my kitchen, I turn the kitchen lights up, but I keep the under-cabinet lights on. All the bathroom lights stay on. Bedroom lights off. Keep a closet light on in the bedroom, so that way you could have light in your room and make those nice little Shabbos things that turn around. So the light is not. It's really. It's just set up. It's really. You know, so I go to bed and my light. My house is every light in the house is on. That's the 8 lights in the bedroom. Make sure the ceiling fans are on. Right. So that's okay. Right. So then at that point in time. Right. Right. But so the house is all set for Shabbat. And before I leave for Shabbat, make sure all the lights are on. Make sure the outside lights are on. Like everything all squared away. And if you're really concerned, you could really go out on a limb over here and buy a programmable switch, and you could kind of just go ahead and do that. But that's the concept. Timers, yeah. But that's sort of the way that's what I do. But I will tell you that it's probably more expensive to buy the timer than to just leave lights off.
Yeah.
for 24 hours.
Especially if you use those new bulbs.
Right, and especially new bulbs. Right? How many kilowatts you're spending anyway? And then, so it's not actually you figure out how much it is. It's not, it doesn't really add up too much. Okay, but that's the way to do it. That's an easy way to do it. Right, but hey, you can practice tomorrow night already. Yom Kippur is a good day to do that. Right, and that sort of is a way to move forward. Okay, anyone else? What they're working? What's the one thing you're going to change for this year?
Maurice.
You're interested in my opinion?
Yeah.
Well, always a lot of things to change. You can work on a lot of things. I have to concentrate. Maybe later I'll give you the answer. Okay?
He doesn't want to be
So there's
distracted.
a lot of things.
I'll give you an example. I'll tell you what I'm working on.
Uh-huh.
Okay, mate. This is always. I'm not asking you any question I won't answer myself. So I grew up religious. So part of the challenge of growing up religious is that I know the prayers backwards and forwards and upside down by heart. Now, it's a good thing and a bad thing. If you're traveling without a sitter, so I know the prayers by heart, I don't need a sitter. And now with our cell phones having siddurim on them, so that's usually not an issue anymore, but okay. The downside to that is you can pray and actually not think about what you're praying because you know it by heart.
Takes the meaning
It takes the meaning out of it, right? It's hard to focus and to stay. It's hard to stay focused. Really, is what it is. Right. So this year I'm working on the 7th blessing of Shemona Esrei. That's my goal this year. Because it's not an issue of doing right or doing wrong, man. It's an issue of making sure that I'm thinking about what I'm praying. And I'm doing really well. We're 9 days into the year. And 2 of them are Rosh Hashanah, so 7 days. And 1 was Shabbos, so 6 days. Because it's weekday prayers. So we had 6 days, so we had 18 prayers. And I probably remembered like 5 times. I'll take a round of applause. Right, okay. So I remember like 5, right? But like, you know, another time I say, whoops, that's gone. oh my gosh, out the window. Right? But being present for that is something that's really important. And to learn how to do that. Right? But it's hard. I know it is. You know, so I start when I say like, and now during during these 10 days, so there's 5 other additions that you make in the Shemona Esrei besides that. So it's like, you know, I've got all these stop signs all along the way. Just remember to put in all this stuff. That's normal. Yeah, but that's what it means to work on it.
But sometimes it's even little things. I remember as a kid, after I was bar mitzvah, there was a shiva meeting,
Right.
and that I was leading, we read the Amidah, and my uncle came up to me and said, "You did it wrong. You didn't have your feet together."
Mm-hmm.
And that was a very important lesson for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's so we learn these things. You know what I'm saying? Like these are things that it's you know, but it's focusing. I mean, it's focusing and being aware of it, right? But the important part is to recognize that we need to take the steps. You know what I'm saying? Like that's that's what it's about. And don't be afraid. You're gonna be okay. I promise you. Yeah.
Ooh, one suggestion.
Yes.
This suggestion. When we learning class, when you read it, you know, no one can catch you. You go and then it's hard to follow you. So you should work on that one too.
I should slow down.
Yeah, slow down.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Thank you. And so it's interesting. So during the high holidays, when we did Rosh Hashanah, I read it very quick because I didn't think that people would find it so inspiring. So I was trying to get to the part that I thought would be more. Right. So, but I would have to say, but thank you.
You remember when you go and the people, you know, is reciting with you, and then suddenly everybody, so only your voice is going, and then so people get lost and they can't follow you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Thank you. Sure. Okay. Good. So anyone else want to volunteer what they're working on for this year? So far we have 2 cop-outs. We have 1 guy taking the bull by the horns.
Come on, David.
Well, I just want to learn more about Judaism.
Judaism.
I feel like I'm a kindergartner. Yeah.
We all
Here.
are.
You're in the.
You know, we're at level -1.
But you're doing great. God is proud of you. And it takes time. It takes
Don't
time.
miss class. That's it.
I'm talking about missing class. The next 2 Mondays are the holiday of Sukkot. Okay, so let me just give you a quick holidays coming up. So we have Yom Kippur starts tomorrow night. So 7:00 we are having the learner service starting at 7:00. Should be over around 9:00 plus or minus by 15 minutes or so.
So no dinner after.
And no dinner afterwards, Frankie. I'm sorry. And we don't mention food in the learner service tomorrow night, okay? Like that's the truth is I can mention it at night because everyone's so stuffed, like they don't know what it wants to hear about food. Right? The next day it gets a little dicey. And then on Wednesday morning, then we go ahead and we have the learner service starting at 10:30 in the morning with Rabbi Lashak speaking.
Right.
Rabbi Lashak will be speaking. and then we'll have the service with Yisker, and then after Yisker, we'll go ahead and we will after Yisker we'll go ahead and we will then have some more of the prayers, and then and then there'll be classes, and we'll end probably around like 1:15, and then there'll be classes throughout the afternoon. We have 6 speakers with some great talks for people to come and to go.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
And then we have the final service at 6:30, called the Ne'ilah. That's the ending of, that's the last and final prayer for Yom Kippur, and then ending at 8:13, and then followed by a break fast. So
the
that's
Sukkot starts next week.
okay. Then okay. So that's Wednesday. Then we have regular Shabbos, and then we have the holiday of Sukkot. The holiday of Sukkot starts Sunday night. Okay, Sunday night, and so it's right Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday. Those are the holiday parts of it, right? And then we have meals at our house. You're all invited to come join us, and then you're invited for Shabbos as well, and then as well for the breakfast if you're around. And then you have the intermediate days of Sukkot. We're going to be having a Sukkah party at my house on Wednesday night. Okay, Sukkah party at my house on Wednesday. On what date is that?
26.
This is the 26th. Okay, Wednesday the 26th. We'll be having a Sukkah party at my house. And then on...
What is a sukkah party?
What's a Sukkah party? Okay, this is a very difficult thing. It's a party in the Sukkah.
Oh, thank you.
So it's what?
I hope it's a big one.
A couple years ago I decided I had enough, and I built myself a special sukkah. I put it up this past Sunday, and I read it. It's amazing.
It's an
A
add-on.
sukkah is like God's home. It's like wild. Just going out there, just pretty incredible. So anyway, so that is on. Okay, so that's Wednesday night. The Sukkah party.
What time?
At what time? Sukkah party 7:30. Okay, 7:30 at 6107 Preston Crest Lane. And then we'll have food, and we'll have some talks of Torah, and that will be on Wednesday night, September 27th. You said? 6th, September 26th. Okay. And then we go ahead, and then we have Shabbos in the Sukkah, and then we go ahead and then we roll into the last days of Sukkot, right? Which is Simchas Shmini Atzeres and Simchas Torah, Sunday night, and again and then Sunday night Monday, and Monday night Tuesday, and by the way, on the holidays we have a learner service at 10:15 every morning, and then that'll be like Monday morning and Tuesday morning of Sukkot, and then also on Monday of the last days of Sukkot, Shmini Atzeres. Then we have Simchas Torah. Now this is a very important holiday. That's the last day of Sukkot. It's going to be next 2 Monday nights. Okay, 2 Monday nights, and that's the day, and that's the holiday where we rejoice with the Torah. Okay, that's a holiday where we rejoice with the
So
Torah.
we're gonna resume classes on.
No. So that is October. That's going to be October 1st, I think.
Can you check?
Right? October 1st. Kenny, October 1st is
That should be Monday.
Monday. Right, so
October 1st?
Monday night, October 1st, we're going to have, Simchas Torah. Simchas Torah is when we dance with the Torah, and we rejoice with it. And we are celebrating the study of Torah. Right? So come and make sure that you are part of the, it's the last day of Sukkot, right? And it really is in America, it's the last day of Sukkot, but it's the day that God says, before all the holiday season ends, spend one more day with me.
So we are having class that night?
And that night we are celebrating and dancing with the Torah at Or HaTorah. Okay, and then after that, then you're invited for a late night dinner at my house. After that, if you're up to it, and then we continue on. That's Monday night, and then Tuesday morning we finish reading the Torah. Okay, the Torah is finished being read on Tuesday morning, and that's really kind of very cool, right? To come to hear the Torah finished being read. And then the sad part is that Tuesday night it's all over.
So
And then we resume back to normal classes, which will be so the next
between today and the first class. Will we the
next Monday night class is going to be October 8th, I think. Monday night, October 8th will be the time when we pick up again, and we should be done with the holidays for a few weeks at that point in time, and then and then eventually Hanukkah will roll around again, and then Purim, and then Pesach. So that's sort of we've gone through a cycle. So anyway, we'd love you all to come join, participate, be part of it, and it's really just something amazing. And you should all give yourselves a round of applause for all the learning that you all have done this past year. And you have brought a tremendous pleasure to God, and my blessing to you all is that you shall have a ksiva chasima tova, a good writing, good sealing, in the book of life, and that may you continue growing in your relationship with God, and may we all just have lots of nachas, lots of simcha, lots of joy, and may we merit to just bring glory to God. We make a kiddush Hashem. Alrighty, thank you all. Everyone have a wonderful, meaningful Yom Kippur.